My name is Jorel Lonesome. I am a writing and literature pro major, and I was raised in the Bronx. And I'm an independent comic book writer and editor for Pronto Comics, which is an independent collective of writers and artists who make comics and collaborate together. It mainly started when I was a child, and my mom bought me this journal. What she told me to do was put some mementos or objects and emblems to represent any big story that you've had during the day. What I would do is I would put maybe coins in my stories or grass that I got from the ground, and I would glue it to the pages and then write about it, write about my experiences that I had there. Afterwards, writing journal entries, I started writing poems in English classes when I was in middle school, high school. And suddenly, when I was gearing towards college, I started to write for comic books. What brought me into comic books was when I joined Andy Schmidt's Comics Experience courses. And what it was a 6-week rigorous course, very intensive, and it would be split into the visual art and storytelling and writing courses. And I was in the visual art and storytelling course. And what we would do is that we would be given scripts that we must read, and then we must draw them out by panel, and we would make sure that the action reflects on the description of what happens in each panel on the page. My instructor was Mike Seglain, who was a DC editor, DC Comics at the time. Afterwards, after the class, we spoke to the writers that were in the writing course, and we said, hey, we both gained some hands-on experience of how to write comics as well as drawing visually. So we decided to meet up together at a pizza shop and discuss on what projects we wanted to do. The first project that we've done together was called For Price, Bounty Hunters and Other Scum, which was our first comic book anthology that all the writers and artists did together. And from there, we eventually came out with our first comic book, eventually. And it was a great experience, a great networking experience to work with different people from all different backgrounds. It was also a great experience to make our first comic book. If a person were to want to be a writer for Pronto Comics, what they would do is come to our meetings, our monthly meetings, which is held on 508th Avenue at Pearl Studios. And the writer would pitch their story to the editor, and the editor would give feedback. And if the editor likes it, we would find artists for you. We would find a penciler, an inker, a colorist, and an editor. And afterwards, you collaborate with them and you make the comic. I gave Professor Carlo Hernandez my Blackout Part 1 book. And when he read it, he said, you use a lot of big words in here. You're not Alan Moore. Don't use too many big words. And when I gave my screenplay to Professor George Stevenson, he would tell me not to make your dialogue so formal. Don't express it as if they're saying exactly what they're thinking. Show them what they're thinking through motion. So I take those lessons, and I'm currently working on that now.